A new era of learning. On a distant planet, nestled among swirling clouds and vibrant landscapes, stood a prestigious intergalactic academy. This academy attracted students from many alien species, each eager to study advanced medical techniques. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as students gathered in bright, high-tech classrooms, sharing ideas and learning about various healing practices. Dr. Ilara, a bold human paramedic, arrived at the academy, ready to teach her unconventional first aid methods. Her reputation for taking risks and achieving remarkable results preceded her. Ilara believed in the power of quick thinking and improvisation, often using whatever was available to save lives. However, her methods raised eyebrows among the students, especially Xylo, a skeptical alien student who valued caution and tradition in medicine. He often challenged Ilara's approach, arguing that her risky techniques could lead to more harm than good. Zara, another alien student, was curious and open-minded. She found Ilara's methods fascinating and wanted to learn more. Zara became a bridge between Ilara and the other students, eager to understand how human techniques could complement traditional alien practices. As Ilara prepared to demonstrate her first aid skills, tension filled the room. Would the students accept her unorthodox style? The audience was left wondering if Ilara could prove her methods were just as valuable as the established ways, setting the stage for a captivating learning journey. The Clash of Titans. As Dr. Ilara stood before her class, she could feel the anticipation in the air. The bright lights of the academy illuminated the eager faces of the alien students, all curious about the human paramedic who had a reputation for being different. Xylo sat at the front, his arms crossed, skepticism written all over his face. He had heard stories about humans, but he wasn't sure they could match the advanced medical techniques of his species. Ilara cleared her throat and smiled. "Welcome, everyone. Today, I'm going to show you a unique way to handle emergencies. It might be different from what you're used to, but it could save lives." The students leaned in, some excited, others uncertain. She started her demonstration with a simple scenario: a training dummy that had fallen and injured itself. Ilara grabbed a few everyday items, a bandage, some adhesive tape, and a bottle of antiseptic. She explained her approach step by step. In a real emergency, you often don't have the luxury of time or specialized tools. You have to think on your feet. Xylo raised his hand, his brow furrowed. But what about the risks? Using basic tools could cause more damage. Don't you think we should stick to established methods? His voice was firm, challenging Ilara's confidence. Ilara nodded, acknowledging his point. "I understand your concerns, Xylo. However, sometimes what you have at hand can be just as effective. It's about being resourceful." She continued, wrapping the bandage around the dummy's arm, demonstrating her techniques with clarity and precision. The students watched closely, their curiosity slowly shifting to admiration. As Ilara finished, Zara stood up, her eyes shining with excitement. "Can we try it ourselves? I want to see how it works in practice." The other students murmured in agreement, eager to learn. Ilara grinned. "Absolutely. Let's break into groups. I'll guide you as you practice. Remember, the goal is to improvise and think creatively." The students paired off, each group taking a training dummy to work on. Ilara moved around the room, watching as they experimented with their techniques. Zara quickly became Ilara's star pupil, grasping the concepts with enthusiasm. Together, they made quick decisions, adapting Ilara's methods to fit their understanding. However, Xylo remained hesitant. He was determined to stick to the traditional techniques taught in his home world. He watched as Zara and her group tried a more unconventional approach with their dummy, wrapping it in the bandage haphazardly while giggling. "This is not how we do things," he muttered under his breath. Ilara approached him. "Xylo, why don't you join Zara and the others? You might learn something new." Xylo frowned but reluctantly agreed. As he stepped into the group, he felt a mix of apprehension and curiosity. Zara was excited to show him what they had learned. "Look, We can adapt our methods. Let's try to use both our techniques, she said, smiling brightly. The group worked together, combining Silo's traditional approach with Ilara's innovative methods. As they practiced, something surprising happened. Tylo began to see the benefits of improvisation. He watched as Zora quickly solved a problem by using a piece of equipment in a way he had never considered. He felt a spark of interest, realizing that there was value in creativity. But then, the unexpected happened. An emergency alert sounded, echoing through the academy's halls. A mechanical malfunction was reported in the training facility, and alarms blared, shaking the room. The students froze, their hearts racing. Dr. Ilara quickly took charge, her voice steady. "Stay calm, everyone. We need to get to the training facility and see what's happening." As they rushed to the facility, Silo's skepticism faded, replaced by determination. They arrived to find a malfunctioning training drone that had gone haywire. It buzzed around, randomly firing harmless energy beams, causing chaos among the students. "This is exactly the situation I prepared you for," Ilara shouted over the noise. "Use your training. Think creatively." Silo felt his heart race. He remembered the improvisation techniques Ilara had shown. "Let's work together," he shouted to Zora and the others. The students quickly organized, combining their skills to disable the drone. They used equipment from their earlier training sessions, crafting a plan on the fly. With Ilara's guidance, they worked as a team, showcasing their newfound abilities. Silo felt a rush of adrenaline as they successfully managed to disable the rogue drone. The cheers of victory echoed through the academy as the danger passed. In that moment, the clash of traditional and unconventional methods blended into something greater. Silo realized that perhaps there was more to learn from humans than he initially thought. They had proven that creativity and quick thinking could triumph over chaos. As they celebrated their teamwork, Ilara smiled, knowing she had opened the door to a new era of learning for everyone involved. The clash of titans. Dr. Ilara stood confidently at the front of the classroom, ready to introduce her unconventional methods to a room full of eager alien students. The walls of the prestigious Intergalactic Academy gleamed with advanced technology, showcasing the various medical tools and techniques from across the galaxy. Alien students from diverse species filled the seats, each one curious about the human who had gained a reputation for her daring approach to first aid. Silo, an alien student with vibrant green skin and sharp features, sat at the front, arms crossed and eyes narrowed. He was known for being a skeptic and champion of traditional methods, believing that humans couldn't possibly understand the advanced medical practices of his people. His doubts were palpable, and he looked ready to challenge Dr. Ilara at any moment. "Welcome, everyone," Ilara said cheerfully, her voice ringing with enthusiasm. "Today, I'm excited to share with you some human first aid techniques. They may be different from what you're used to, but I promise they can be effective in real-life situations." The students exchanged glances, some eager, while others, like Geiselo, appeared unconvinced. Ilara started her demonstration with a simple scenario, a training dummy that had been programmed to simulate a medical emergency. She picked up a few basic items, a bandage, some adhesive tape, and a bottle of antiseptic. In an emergency, you often don't have the luxury of time or specialized tools, she explained, carefully wrapping the bandage around the dummy's arm. You have to think quickly and creatively. She demonstrated how to improvise, turning everyday objects into life-saving tools. Silo raised his hand, his expression skeptical. "But what about the risks? Using basic tools could cause more damage. Shouldn't we stick to established methods?" His tone was firm, clearly challenging Ilara's confidence. Ilara nodded thoughtfully, recognizing the validity of his concerns. "You're right, Silo. Safety is essential. But sometimes you have to adapt and use what you have at hand. It's about being resourceful and staying calm under pressure." She continued her demonstration, showcasing her skills and creativity. Zora, a curious alien student with shimmering blue skin and big bright eyes, was captivated by Ilara's unique approach. She leaned forward in her seat, eager to learn more. "Can we try it ourselves?" she asked, her excitement contagious. "I want to see how it works in practice." The other students murmured in agreement, their interest piqued. Ilara smiled, sensing the energy in the room. "Absolutely. Let's break into groups. I'll guide you as you practice." As the students paired off, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Ilara moved between the groups, observing as they began to experiment with the techniques she had just demonstrated. Zara quickly emerged as a standout, her enthusiasm helping her group work effectively. Xylo, however, remained hesitant. He stood off to the side, determined to adhere to the traditional techniques that his people had always taught him. He watched as Zara and her group improvised with their dummy, laughing and encouraging each other. "This is not how we do things," he muttered to himself, feeling a mix of frustration and intrigue. Seeing his hesitation, Ilara approached him. "Why don't you join Zara and the others? You might learn something new," she suggested, her voice encouraging. With a reluctant sigh, Kylo agreed. He moved into the group, where Zara welcomed him with a bright smile. "Let's combine our methods. I'm sure we can come up with something amazing," she exclaimed, her excitement infectious. The group worked together, blending Xylo's traditional methods with Ilara's innovative techniques. As they practiced, Xylo began to see the value in creativity. He watched as Zora quickly solved a problem by using a piece of equipment in a way he had never considered. He felt a spark of interest, realizing that thinking outside the box could lead to new solutions. Just as they began to feel comfortable, an unexpected emergency alert blared throughout the academy, causing everyone to freeze in their tracks. A mechanical malfunction in the training facility had triggered alarms, and the students' hearts raced with apprehension. "Stay calm, everyone. We need to get to the training facility and see what's happening," Ilara shouted over the commotion, her voice steady and commanding. As they rushed to the facility, Xylo felt a surge of determination. This was the moment to put their skills to the test. Upon arriving, they found a malfunctioning training drone that had gone haywire. It buzzed around, randomly firing harmless energy beams, causing chaos among the students. "This is exactly the situation I prepared you for," Ilara called out, urging the students to remain focused. "Use your training. Think creatively." Xylo felt adrenaline coursing through him. He remembered the improvisation techniques Ilara had shown and shouted, "Let's work together." Rallying Zara and the others, they quickly organized their efforts to disable the rogue drone. Using their training, they combined their skills to craft a plan. With Ilara's guidance, they worked as a cohesive unit, showcasing their newfound abilities. Xylo felt a rush of pride and excitement as they successfully managed to disable the drone, cheers erupting from the group as they celebrated their victory. In that moment, the clash of traditional and unconventional methods transformed into something greater. Xylo recognized the power of collaboration and creativity. As they celebrated their teamwork, Ilara smiled, knowing she had opened the door to a new era of learning for everyone involved. As the students paired off, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Ilara moved between the groups, observing as they began to experiment with the techniques she had just demonstrated. Zara quickly emerged as a standout, her enthusiasm helping her group work effectively. Xylo, however, remained hesitant. He stood off to the side, determined to adhere to the traditional techniques that his people had always taught him. He watched as Zara and her group improvised with their dummy, laughing and encouraging each other. "This is not how we do things," he muttered to himself, feeling a mix of frustration and intrigue. Seeing his hesitation, Ilara approached him. "Why don't you join Zara and the others? You might learn something new," she suggested, her voice encouraging. With a reluctant sigh, Xylo agreed. He moved into the group, where Zara welcomed him with a bright smile. "Let's combine our methods. I'm sure we can come up with something amazing," she exclaimed, her excitement infectious. The group worked together, blending Silo's traditional methods with Ilara's innovative techniques. As they practiced, Tylo began to see the value in creativity. He watched as Zara quickly solved a problem by using a piece of equipment in a way he had never considered. He felt a spark of interest, realizing that thinking outside the box could lead to new solutions. Just as they began to feel comfortable, an unexpected emergency alert blared throughout the academy, causing everyone to freeze in their tracks. A mechanical malfunction in the training facility had triggered alarms, and the students' hearts raced with apprehension. "Stay calm, everyone. We need to get to the training facility and see what's happening," Ilara shouted over the commotion, her voice steady and commanding. As they rushed to the facility, Silo felt a surge of determination. This was the moment to put their skills to the test. Upon arriving, they found a malfunctioning training drone that had gone haywire. It buzzed around, randomly firing harmless energy beams, causing chaos among the students. "This is exactly the situation I prepared you for," Ilara called out, urging the students to remain focused. "Use your training. Think creatively." Silo felt adrenaline coursing through him. He remembered the improvisation techniques Ilara had shown and shouted, "Let's work together." Rallying Zara and the others, they quickly organized their efforts to disable the rogue drone. Using their training, they combined their skills to craft a plan. With Ilara's guidance, they worked as a cohesive unit, showcasing their newfound abilities. Tylo felt a rush of pride and excitement as they successfully managed to disable the drone, cheers erupting from the group as they celebrated their victory. In that moment, the clash of traditional and unconventional methods transformed into something greater. Tylo recognized the power of collaboration and creativity. As they celebrated their teamwork, Ilara smiled, knowing she had opened the door to a new era of learning for everyone involved. Just as they reached the critical moment of the simulation, a race against time to save the injured crew member, an unexpected twist occurred. The simulated spacecraft experienced a catastrophic failure, causing lights to flicker and alarms to blare. The students panicked momentarily, but then Silo shouted, "Stay calm. We can handle this together." Drawing on everything they had practiced, the group quickly brainstormed solutions. Zara used a makeshift tool they had crafted earlier to stabilize the injured crew member, while Silo coordinated the team, ensuring everyone knew their role. Ilara watched, her heart swelling with pride as she realized they had become a true team. With one final push, they successfully completed the rescue. Cheers erupted as the simulation ended, and the students high-fived one another, filled with a sense of accomplishment. Silo turned to Ilara, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you for pushing us to think differently. I didn't believe it at first, but your methods really do have value." Ilara beamed at him. "And thank you for reminding me of the importance of a solid foundation. We both learned from each other today." Zara joined them, her excitement palpable. "This is just the beginning. Imagine what we can do if we continue to combine our strengths." As they left the simulation room, the bonds they had formed grew stronger. They realized that their differences made them better, and together they could tackle any challenge that lay ahead. This was not just about learning medical techniques, it was about creating a community of unlikely allies, united by their shared passion for knowledge and innovation. With the sun setting outside the academy, the three of them stood together, ready to face whatever came next. They were no longer just a group of alien students and a human paramedic. They were a team, ready to embrace the challenges of their intergalactic world together. The future was bright, and they couldn't wait to explore it. The unexpected crisis. Days turned into weeks at the prestigious Intergalactic Academy, and Dr. Ilara, Silo, and Zara continued to deepen their bond as they learned from each other. The students embraced the challenge of integrating their different medical techniques, combining traditional alien practices with Ilara's unconventional methods. Together, they tackled various simulations, gaining confidence and skills along the way. The academy buzzed with energy, and everyone looked forward to what they would learn next. However, just as their training was gaining momentum, an unexpected crisis struck. One morning, an emergency alert blared throughout the academy. The announcement echoed through the halls. Attention! All students and staff, please evacuate immediately. There is a hazardous containment breach in the biotech lab. Panic spread quickly among the students. Many rushed to grab their belongings, but Silo, Ilara, and Zara immediately sprang into action. "We need to help," Zara shouted, her eyes wide with determination. "Stay calm and focused," Ilara instructed. "We'll need to assess the situation and see if anyone is trapped inside." Silo nodded, his leadership instincts kicking in. "Let's move. We can use the skills we practiced in our simulations. We've faced tough situations before. We can handle this." The three of them rushed toward the biotech lab. As they reached the entrance, they were met by a group of frightened students and staff who had been evacuated. "What's happening?" Silo asked a nearby student. "The containment unit malfunctioned. There are still some researchers inside," the student replied, trembling. "They're exposed to a volatile substance." Ilara felt a surge of urgency. "We have to get in there and help them. We can't leave anyone behind." They pushed through the doorway, entering the chaotic lab filled with flickering lights and alarms. The atmosphere was tense, thick with a sense of danger. A faint sound of coughing echoed from within. "They're in there," Zora exclaimed, pointing to a locked door at the far end of the room. Silo quickly examined the door. "It's sealed tight. We need to get it open." He looked around for anything that could help. Ilara stepped back and assessed the situation, her mind racing. "We need to create a diversion. If we can draw the attention of the containment system, we might have a chance to unlock the door." Zara's eyes lit up with an idea. "What if I use the emergency signal? It could distract the system long enough for us to get in." "Great thinking," Ilara said, impressed. "But we have to work fast. I'll prepare to administer first aid as soon as we get the door open." While Zara positioned herself to trigger the emergency signal, Tylo and Ilara moved closer to the door. The sounds of the lab grew louder, a mix of alarms and the faint cries of the trapped researchers. "Ready, Zara," Silo called out. "Ready," she replied, her hand steady on the emergency device. With a deep breath, Zora activated the emergency signal. A loud, blaring noise filled the lab, causing the containment system to shift its focus toward the sound. The door's locking mechanism began to flicker, responding to the diversion. "Now!" Silo shouted as they rushed forward. With a strong push, he managed to force the door open, and they rushed inside. The scene that met them was chaotic. A group of researchers lay on the ground, coughing and struggling to breathe. Ilara immediately took charge. "I need you to stay calm. We're here to help." She quickly assessed the situation, looking for the most affected individuals. With practiced efficiency, she began administering first aid. Meanwhile, Skylo helped clear the area of debris, while Zara checked for any additional dangers. "Everyone, take deep breaths," Ilara instructed the researchers. "Focus on me. I'll get you through this." Silo's heart raced as he worked alongside Ilara. For the first time, he truly understood the value of her unorthodox methods. Her confidence and quick thinking inspired him. "Zara, check their vitals and see who needs immediate attention." Zara nodded, quickly checking the first researcher. "This one needs oxygen," she shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos. "There's a tank over here." Xylo rushed to grab it and brought it to her. They worked in unison, coordinating their actions just as they had practiced in the simulations. After what felt like an eternity, they managed to stabilize the researchers, bringing them back from the brink. As the alarms continued to wail, the trio worked tirelessly, and gradually, the situation came under control. Finally, the last researcher was attended to, and Ilara turned to Xylo and Zara, a look of pride on her face. "You both did an amazing job. We really pulled together as a team." Xylo grinned, his heart swelling with newfound respect for Ilara and Zara. I can't believe we actually did it. This is what teamwork is all about. As the emergency crews arrived to take over, the three friends shared a moment of triumph. They had faced their first true crisis together and emerged stronger. They realized that their unique skills and perspectives made them an unstoppable team. The bond they had forged through training had prepared them for this moment, and they knew there would be many more challenges ahead. But now, they felt ready to face anything. Together, they were more than just a human paramedic and two alien students. They were a united force, ready to tackle whatever the galaxy threw their way. The unexpected crisis had solidified their partnership and opened their eyes to the power of collaboration. The future looked bright for them, and they couldn't wait to see what lay ahead. The ripple effect. In the aftermath of the crisis at the biotech lab, the atmosphere at the Intergalactic Academy shifted dramatically. The incident had been a wake-up call for everyone involved. Students from various alien species whispered about the bravery of Dr. Ilara, Tylo, and Zara. Word spread like wildfire, and soon they became known as the heroes of the Academy. Ilara had expected gratitude, but what she received was more profound. Students who had once been skeptical of her methods began to approach her, eager to learn. Many expressed a newfound appreciation for the effectiveness of her unconventional techniques. "I never thought humans could be so resourceful," said one alien student named Herrick, his eyes wide with admiration. "You really saved lives today." Meanwhile, Tylo and Zara found themselves at the center of attention too. Their swift actions during the crisis demonstrated their leadership qualities. The Academy administration recognized this as well, and they were soon invited to share their experience during an all-student assembly. As they prepared their speech, Tylo felt a mix of excitement and nerves. "What if they don't want to hear what we have to say?" he worried aloud. Zara placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "They need to hear about teamwork. If we can inspire even one student to take action when it matters, it will be worth it." The day of the assembly arrived, and students filled the large auditorium. The atmosphere buzzed with energy. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara took the stage, and Ilara spoke first. "What we did wasn't just about saving lives. It was about working together, no matter our differences. Every species has unique skills that can contribute to a greater good." Xylo took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I used to think humans were reckless, but I was wrong. Dr. Ilara taught us the importance of thinking outside the box. In that lab, I saw the value of creativity in medicine. We should all embrace new ideas and learn from each other." The crowd listened intently, captivated by their words. Zara finished with a powerful statement. "We have the potential to save lives together, regardless of our backgrounds. Let's learn from one another and become better healers." Applause erupted throughout the auditorium, and students began to stand and cheer. For the first time, Xylo felt a sense of belonging. They had successfully conveyed their message, and it resonated deeply with everyone present. As the weeks passed, the academy began to change. More students approached Ilara, eager to learn her unconventional first aid techniques. They'd practiced together, blending traditional alien methods with human practices. The collaboration brought forth new ideas and strategies that excited everyone involved. However, not everyone was pleased with the newfound admiration for Ilara's techniques. A faction of students led by a traditionalist named Zarner, who held strong beliefs in the tried and true ways of alien medicine, began to grow increasingly vocal. "We cannot let these reckless human methods overshadow our traditions," Zarner declared during a heated debate in class. "This is not just about saving lives, it's about preserving our way of healing." The tension in the room rose, and Xylo felt a knot tighten in his stomach. "We're not trying to erase your methods," he interjected. "We just want to enhance our skills and learn from each other." Zarner shot back. "You think we need humans to improve? That's naive." The disagreement sparked a rift among the students. Some supported Ilara's methods, while others sided with Zarner. The academy, which had previously been a place of unity, now faced division. Feeling the weight of responsibility, Ilara knew they had to bridge this gap. "We should organize a demonstration," she suggested to Xylo and Zara. "Let's show everyone that a blend of our techniques can be powerful." Zara nodded enthusiastically. "We can set up a simulation where both methods are tested. This way, everyone can see the benefits of collaboration firsthand." Xylo's eyes lit up with determination. "Yes, we'll create a challenge that showcases the strengths of each method while encouraging teamwork." They worked tirelessly, planning the event to promote unity among the students. Finally, the day arrived. Students gathered in the main training arena, buzzing with curiosity. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara stood in front of everyone, ready to present their demonstration. Today, Ilara announced, "We will showcase how our unique techniques can work together to save lives." She turned to Zarner. "We invite you and your team to participate in this challenge. Let's combine our strengths." Zarner hesitated, but the interest from the other students nudged him forward. "Very well," he said, reluctantly accepting the challenge. As the simulation began, both teams employed their methods. Students demonstrated traditional alien techniques alongside Ilara's creative approaches. The audience watched in awe as they collaborated, overcoming obstacles together. With each success, the atmosphere shifted. Zarner's initial resistance began to dissolve, replaced by a growing appreciation for the human techniques. At the end of the demonstration, Ilara turned to Zarner. "What did you think?" He looked thoughtful. "I see now that we can learn from each other. There is value in blending our methods." The crowd erupted in applause, and a sense of unity spread throughout the arena. The ripple effect of the earlier crisis had transformed into a wave of collaboration and understanding. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara exchanged proud smiles, knowing they had taken a significant step toward building a more inclusive academy. They realized that through adversity, they had forged a path of cooperation, forever changing the course of their education. Their journey was far from over, but they now faced the future with hope and excitement. Together, they were ready to explore the endless possibilities of learning and healing, one unconventional method at a time. The dawn of new techniques. The excitement from the successful demonstration rippled through the Intergalactic Academy like a fresh breeze. Students buzzed with energy, eager to embrace this newfound collaboration. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara became the focal point of a movement that aimed to blend human ingenuity with the rich traditions of various alien medical practices. With the momentum building, Ilara proposed a series of workshops, inviting students from all backgrounds to share their knowledge. "Let's create a platform where we can teach each other," she suggested during a student council meeting. "We can hold workshops where each species demonstrates its unique techniques. This way, everyone can learn and adapt." Xylo added, "We should make it a festival of healing. We can have competitions, demonstrations, and presentations. Let's celebrate our diverse methods." The council was enthusiastic, and soon, the Academy's first intergalactic medical symposium was planned. Word spread quickly, drawing attention from all corners of the galaxy. As the day approached, excitement filled the air, transforming the Academy into a vibrant hub of innovation and collaboration. On the day of the symposium, the auditorium was packed. Colorful banners hung from the walls, showcasing symbols and techniques from different species. The scent of exotic foods wafted through the air, adding to the festive atmosphere. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara stood at the entrance, welcoming students and dignitaries from various alien worlds. As the opening ceremony began, Ilara took the stage with Xylo and Zara by her side. "Today, we celebrate our differences and the strength we gain from them," she declared. "This symposium is not just about medicine. It's about understanding, respect, and friendship." The crowd erupted into applause, and the day unfolded with a series of demonstrations. Students presented their techniques, ranging from advanced alien healing practices to human first aid methods. The atmosphere was electric with curiosity and enthusiasm. One highlight was a demonstration by a group of reptilian aliens who showcased their unique regenerative techniques. The audience watched in awe as they healed injuries almost instantly, their scales shimmering under the lights. Then it was Ilara's turn. "Now let me show you a human technique that combines quick thinking with resourcefulness," she said, stepping forward. She created a mock emergency scenario and demonstrated her unconventional first aid methods using simple materials available around the academy. Her confidence and creativity captivated the audience, leaving them eager to learn more. Silo took the stage next, showcasing a unique hybrid technique they had developed. "We combined the regenerative techniques with human improvisation," he explained, demonstrating how to use available resources to aid in healing. The crowd was amazed at the innovation, and cheers erupted as they saw the practical applications. Zora concluded the demonstrations with a heartfelt speech. "We all come from different backgrounds, but our goal is the same: to save lives. Let's continue to learn from each other, because together we are stronger." As the day went on, students engaged in hands-on workshops, trying out new techniques. They exchanged stories, laughter, and even challenges as they navigated unfamiliar methods. The sense of camaraderie grew, forging friendships across species lines. However, amidst the celebration, Zarner, who had initially been resistant to change, stood quietly at the back, observing everything. A flicker of realization crossed his face as he witnessed the transformative power of collaboration. By the end of the day, the Academy had become a melting pot of ideas and methods. The symposium concluded with an award ceremony, where Ilara, Xylo, and Zara were recognized for their efforts in fostering collaboration and innovation. They received accolades from the Academy's administration, but more importantly, they gained the respect and admiration of their peers. As the celebrations continued, Zarner approached Ilara, his demeanor humble. "I have seen the value in what you are doing," he admitted. "I would like to learn more about your techniques. Can you help me?" Ilara smiled, extending her hand. "Of course, we can learn together." The sun began to set on the academy, casting a golden glow over the students and their newfound friendships. The day had been a remarkable journey, from skepticism and division to understanding and cooperation. The academy now stood on the brink of a new era, where the blending of knowledge and techniques could pave the way for advanced healing practices. Ilara, Xylo, and Zara looked toward the future with hope, knowing that they had sparked a change that would resonate far beyond their academy. As they left the symposium, they understood that their adventure was just beginning. Together, they would continue to explore the infinite possibilities of learning, healing, and friendship in a universe that was finally ready to embrace collaboration over competition. The bonds they had forged and the lessons learned would ripple through the galaxy, shaping a brighter future for all.